Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the November 10th meeting of the St. Mary's County Planning Commission. There are sign-up sheets in the foyer this evening, one for all attendees and one for those that who wish to speak during a case. If you plan to speak or would like to receive follow-up information related to these cases, please ensure you sign the appropriate sheet. Thank you. Please note this meeting is being recorded as part of the public record. All comments must be captured on the record. If you wish to speak, you must do so using one of the provided microphones. All comments, questions, or responses must be directed to the board. The board will then address or refer them to the appropriate party. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes or less. Anyone wishing to testify or ask questions during our public hearings must take an oath. When speaking, please do so clearly and directly into the microphone. Lastly, we ask you to silence your cell phones to avoid any disruptions. And thank you for your cooperation. On our agenda this evening, after a review and approval of the October 27th minutes, we have two public hearings. CSP 24-0400 for the Bradley Brook Development Townhouses and single-family dwellings detached for their concept site plan, and for the like these glasses. MJSP 25-0216, also for the Bradley Brook development, followed by any discussion or new, and we have some scouts with us this evening, and followed by adjournment. Okay, at this time, I'll let the board members introduce themselves.
Good evening, Judy Filius.
Good evening, Lynn Delahaye.
Patty Robrack.
Howard Thompson.
Joe Vankirk.
Jay Cousineau.
Connor Lochran.
Also with us this evening from the Department of Land Use and Growth Management, we have their Deputy Director, Brandy Glenn, and we have their Senior Planning Specialist, Megan Higgs Carter. Also with us are our Deputy County Attorney, Mr. John Sterling Hauser, Anna Wells from St. Mary's County Metropolitan Commission, and Amy Carter is our video media producer this evening. Okay, did everybody have a chance to review the October 27th minutes?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. I will abstain from those. All in favor of those say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, moving right along. Our first case this evening will be for concept site plan 24-0400 for the Bradley Brook development. Mr. Longmore, did you want to come up this evening?
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Chris Longmore here on behalf of the applicant for both of the items that are scheduled for public hearing tonight, CSP 24-0400 and MJSP 25-0216. As you all, I know, are aware from looking at the staff report, this is a proposed townhouse development. Both applications, or both items scheduled for public hearing, relate to the same project. I know the Planning Commission is well aware, but when you develop a townhouse project in our county and you want to subdivide and sell those townhouses to individuals, you have to get both a concept site plan approval and a preliminary subdivision plan approval. We were preparing to go forward tonight, but there were a couple of agencies that did not have their comments for the subdivision plan in. They did for the concept site plan. That's why I believe the staff report was on board doc some time ago for that. But we got word about 2 weeks ago that a couple of the agencies would not have their comments in time for us to go forward tonight on the subdivision plan. Therefore, we're seeking a continuance of it. Those comments are in now. Ms. Glenn and I spoke just before the meeting tonight, and I believe that staff report is now ready to be prepared or is prepared. But of course, it wasn't ready in time to go forward tonight and properly post it. So we're asking for a postponement of both public hearings tonight. We believe it would be appropriate to postpone both, to do both at the same night since it's the same project. We worked with staff, and we understand that next Monday, November 17th, 2025 is available here at 6:30 in the Commissioners' meeting room. So we're asking that the hearing be continued to that date and time.
Okay. We also had some additions that came in just today with a letter that we had from the Department of the Navy that had some interest in doing that. I'm going to leave that up to the board. I know that I don't think they will be ready. They're still worried about the government being closed, and they won't be able to make it to the next week's hearing. So it would be up to the board if we'd like to wait until, and what would be our next date?
December 8th.
Okay.
Isn't that what the Navy asked for, or was that, I seen it in the report that, or the letter that they had sent, and there was some correspondence back and forth from.
That's what they asked for.
Well, we wouldn't want to hold the applicant up any more than that.
Yeah, I don't think that's too much to ask for in my opinion. They, like I say, they've had furloughs and people out, and this is it's a few weeks. I don't think it's an outlandish, it's not like it's months and months and months. But that's, my opinion would be that we should give them a little bit of respect and wait until then.
On behalf of my client, just so I can speak to that, we were aware of the request as well. My client would prefer to go forward in a week. We were scheduled to go forward on today's date. They have contractual obligations and other obligations to go forward. A month delay, which is what this would amount to, is significant to them. I don't recall any continuance requests like this ever coming in before on an application from the Navy or really any other agency. There are comments in the form of a written letter from the CO that are part of your staff reports. We received that more than a month ago, I believe, and responded to it within a couple of days with our comments back on it, and have not received any other feedback from that letter. So the comments are available to the Planning Commission. They are already in the staff report. They were submitted some time ago. So we respectfully request that it not be continued that long, but we understand the commission has many considerations.
My only response to that is we're postponing because one of the agencies didn't have their comments ready. But we're going to penalize another agency who may not be ready. It just seems like it seems like, I know they had a chance to respond, but in my mind, they haven't had a proper chance to respond. Like I say, I'm just one person who's giving an opinion on how I see it.
And
I
that's,
do respect your opinion and your client's right to move forward, but like I say, they're asking for 3 weeks.
I agree with Joe. I'd like to hear what they have to say and give them enough time to get back and get their desks cleared off and prepare themselves. I agree with Joe.
I do too.
Anybody else have an opinion? Okay, so with that being said, if somebody, Mr. Hauser, we have, it seems to have a majority of the board right now that would like to move this to December 8th hearing. There's no problem with that. I mean, okay.
So pursuant to it's CZO section 21.4.2.d, the Planning Commission may grant a continuance on its own motion if that's what the Planning Commission deems proper and kind of prudent given the circumstances. Obviously, like Mr. Van Kirk said, if we got into a situation where this were months and months and months and months, we'd probably have some due process concerns. Not sure, don't believe we're there yet. So if a motion is made, seconded, and carried by a 2/3 vote, Planning Commission can continue this to December 8th if that's what the Planning Commission wishes to do.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser.
and Mr. Chairman, I'll state for the record, I hope that all of our people are available on that date. We've cleared tonight's date and we cleared a week from now based on the county agencies not being ready for tonight. So we have done that several times now. I hope that we can all be there. We'll plan to be there that evening if that's where the commission is going. But I'll just state that for the record, and if we need to, we'll come in, but we'll make every effort to have everybody here. We have multiple people that that need to clear their schedules to be here. We have a lot of engineers that are going to be here for you to address some of the concerns that the Navy raised in their letter that we're already addressing. So I do think this is unique in that I don't recall ever seeing a request for somebody wanting to bring a team to a hearing that is not the applicant. I don't remember there ever being a continuance request from anyone else other than an applicant before this planning commission. I think you all are choosing to do something that has not been done before. Of course, it's within your purview, but I feel the need to state that on the record on behalf of my client. But hopefully we can be there that night, and we'll make every effort to have all our engineers and all our acoustic engineers and traffic engineers, project engineers, and the applicant be available that night. I know they're cleared for a week from tonight because that's the date that we had cleared with the county to continue this like we normally do when there's a continuance.
Well, if this does get continued to the December date, we'll give you and your applicant, I mean, if the Navy isn't ready at that point, we'll do whatever we can to make it easier on you, since this time you're the one that is, I won't say being put out, but having to do a lot of shifting around. So the ball will be on their court if it'll be up, if we go to that date and something were to happen or whatever, we'll work with you to make sure that you get, since you are the applicant, I mean, this is your hearing.
Right.
But this is also different. We've had projects in that area, that close area where the Navy has stepped in, and because of, I'll say, problems with AQs and different things, and we haven't heard everything that the Navy has. I mean, they have sent a letter, but they apparently have more information for us, and I have the feeling that if we move forward next week, we would still have to continue it in order to hear them anyway, so.
Certainly, it's your decision to make,
Well, it's the
and
board's
we'll
decision.
respect it. I will state this project is not in the AQs, so I'll state that for the record.
Close to, pardon me, that's my,
And it's not within the noise contours shown on the county noise contour map either. So this project is completely outside of both of everything the county has adopted to address the AQs in the Navy. But we can address that more fully at the hearing, December 8th, if that's the planning commission's choosing.
all right, well, we've heard some of the board members. Would somebody like to make a motion as to when we want to continue this to?
I can make a motion to continue this meeting on, do we need to read the numbers? Or just both of the hearings on the concept site plan and the major subdivision?
I think just a simple motion continuing to whatever date the planning commission wants does it. I think the formalities of concept site plan, we know what you're talking about.
Okay, both hearings, we'd like to make a motion to continue them to December 8th in this meeting room at 6:30.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Mr. Longmore, we'll see you on December 8th.
All right, thank you for your
Appreciate
time
your
tonight.
understanding.
Appreciate
You and your family have a good Thanksgiving.
it. Okay,
See
you too. Yeah, I hope you all do too. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, other business. We don't get to have happy things happen a lot of times. And not that it's not happy with you, Mr. Longmore. We're always happy to see you. But you know what I mean when I talk about this. We have some scouts with us this evening. If y'all would like to come up here and sit at the desk, and we're going to really put it to you. Going to ask you some questions. So. They're both the same. Go ahead. Sit right in the middle, young man. You'll be all right. Don't worry. We got you covered. Okay. Can we get y'all's names and your troop that you belong to?
Jason Macia, Troop 303.
Alexia Luna, Troop 303.
Okay, say that a little slower because I got it right and I didn't catch it all.
Alexia
You
Luna,
first.
Troop.
What was your name?
Jason Macia, Troop 303.
Okay, Jason. And you?
Alexia Luna.
Okay, and what troop number are y'all from?
303.
303, okay. Okay, y'all saw a small bit of what we do tonight. We had an applicant come before us. They wanted to move forward, and we couldn't get it done because of information that's needed. So, you know, this board is out there to make sure that we have all information before we move forward on anything, even though it makes some folks not happy. You know, they're ready to do things tonight, but in order to make the best decisions we can possibly have, we have to have all the information ready. So, with that being said, do you all have any questions about what went on tonight? Or do you have any questions for us in general? Okay. Well, are y'all here to earn a badge? What is the badge you're going for tonight?
So we're gonna go for the communication merit badge.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have to just have to attend this meeting, write some notes about it, and yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't have to just attend these meetings just to get a badge. If you ever want to learn anything, you can come to these hearings anytime. They're also on YouTube, on the county's website on YouTube, and you can watch them anytime. You can get with your friends tomorrow and look at yourself on television and see what it's all about. But it's good to learn about these things. Maybe in a few years, I won't say how many, you could sit up here and take a couple of our places. I'll be ready to retire by then. So y'all can jump as these folks move inward. Y'all can start it back up. So we're glad to have you. This is always a good moment for us. We don't get a good time to ask questions and things like that. You have a question?
So no special permissions or prior permission would be needed. We just have to come as civilians, right?
These are public hearings. You can come to them anytime.
Okay.
We meet usually twice a month unless there's a holiday or we have a continuance, but it's always on board docs, which is on the St. Mary's County government website. You can look those hearings up anytime. We not only the Planning Commission, which is actually the best commission that the county has, but you can go to the Board of Appeals hearings, and I'm sure Mr. Brown's going to call me tomorrow to let me know that I said that. But there are a lot of different hearings, you know, that you can look up, and there's everything that goes on in the county is usually done with the commission, and we're all volunteers, so we're here to help y'all. So.
And during every public hearing, if you ever came back, you would be afforded the right to speak on whatever the topic was. If they're building something next to your house, you'd have the right to come in, be sworn in, and actually speak on the project. Or you can come in at any public hearing and speak, sign up, and chairman will call your name, and you'd be welcome to speak.
3 minutes. So practice your speech when you come. You get 3 minutes. Okay? We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a good hearing. You know. Is there any other business this evening? I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion and a lot of seconds. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Okay. We appreciate y'all coming out, and we're adjourned.